up for it. I expected a little bit more supporters here for this one here, but Cashmere, illustrious program. They lose the tip, though.
Opening tip control by Seton Catholic, immediately attacking the basket in the blink of an eye. Rico George is on the board, and Seton Catholic strikes first. 2-0 Seton Catholic. Cashmere will look to respond as a drive there by Ryland Hatmaker. He kicks it out early. Three ball does not fall for Matt Carlson. Ball tipped out, secured by Tom McDevitt. Extra possession for the Bulldogs. There's a drive. Ball knocked out of the hands of Ryland Hatmaker. Goes out of play. Last touch by Cashmere. It's going to be Seton Catholic possession.
Yeah, I like the hustle there by Ryland Nelson, keeping that ball alive, and just an unforced error after that. A lot of length and athleticism here by both teams, honestly, Matt.
Caden Wells is going to bring the ball up the floor, steps into a three. That one doesn't go home. Rebound for Matt Carlson. A very quick possession there for Seton Catholic. The other way goes Ryland Nelson. He's going to be met by Caden Wilson, as Wilson's going to pick up a little bit of a reach-in foul there. First foul of the ball game.
Yeah, you don't like to see that if you're Seton Catholic. His dad, Donald Wilson, the head coach over there, and he had 4 fouls in the third quarter. Had to exit the game against Linden Christian. It was still within arm's reach for Seton Catholic. And what do I say, Matt, about your best ability?
Availability.
Hard screen up top, doesn't get called out there.
Jumper no good from Ryland Nelson. Long pass all the way up to Lance Lee. He'll slow down a little bit and then dribble out. Kind of set up the offense, gives the ball up top to Rico George. George looking to attack, pulls up from the free throw line. That one doesn't go. Another rebound for Toby Larson. So Cashmere looking for their first point. Seton Catholic struck early, but now have slowed down on their next 2 possessions. Ball kicked out to Ryland Hatmaker. He's guarded by Tyler Tran. Hatmaker has that one poked loose by Wilson. Scramble for the ball. It ends up with Wilson. Tried a little behind the back. Not sure if that was a pass or a dribble, but Cashmere right back on it. Ryland Nelson on the far wing right in front of the Seton Catholic bench. Lobs this one in the corner. It's Tom McDevitt. He pulls the trigger. That 3-ball no good. Wilson the board.
Kind of a flat shooter there in the corner, and McDevitt took a lot of time to get that one up, allowed the defense to kind of close in a little bit and alter that shot.
Caden Wilson not going to use the screen yet set by Lance Lee. 11 on the shot clock. As Wilson now drives, spins, puts one up with the right hand, a little bit off target, and ball goes out of play. Last touch by George, another empty possession for the Cougars.
Yeah, Wilson tapping his chest a little bit there to let his teammates know, my bad, but you know, he's a guy who can go one-on-one basketball. He can go 1-on-5, actually.
And you could see he wanted that ISO on that possession. Cashmere still trying to find the bottom of the net. The ball over to Tom McDevitt. McDevitt attacks from the left hand. He's cut off. Now gives one to Toby Larson on the baseline. Great baseline dish. 3-ball. Matt Carlson drops it. And Cashmere on the board and out in front. 3-2 Bulldogs. 5:27 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, always nice to see that first one go down, and a great creation there. Baseline to baseline passes are very tough under the basket.
Rico George threw that one away, and it couldn't be saved by Mason Glassmeyer. Turnover back to Cashmere.
You can tell that Seton Catholic is still trying to find their druthers as well, Matthew, without Angelo out there and figuring out the offense and the rotation system.
You mentioned not just a starter, the school's all-time leading scorer, and he's not on the floor. There's a nice step through. Caden Wilson with a volleyball spike, denying that Ryland Nelson finish. Ball stay on this end with Cashmere, but that's a grown man play.
Yeah, he is a grown man as a sophomore. I'm sure that he started driving himself to the games at 12 years old.
There's a 3-ball, in and out, no good this time from Carlson. Offensive rebound kept alive by Nelson. Ryland Nelson kicks out, now gets the ball right back, touches it back out to Ryland Hatmaker. Hatmaker, the running shot with the right hand, no good. Seton Catholic quickly the other way. Up the floor, beautiful behind the back pass from George, but that one denied by Toby Larson. Larson knocked that out of the hands of Lance Lee. Ball stays on this end with the Cougars. Great defense, though, by Cashmere.
It's honestly just a great play by everybody involved. That run out, great 2-on-1 break, but better defense on the recovery. Lee had a great pump fake there. Just last second, that ball got tapped away.
Rico George, this one to Tyler Tran, who knocks down the first 3 for Seton Catholic. And the lead belongs to the Cougars. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 5-3 Seton Catholic, 4:30 to play here in the first quarter. Matthew King alongside Nick Sisson first round game in the 1A boys basketball state tournament. Loser out, winner going to move on to the quarterfinals to take on Zilla, the defending state champions. Back here at the Yakima Valley Sun-Dome in the WIA State Basketball Championships. Brought to you by Geisa Credit Union. All the live championship action on the NFHS Network. Matthew King alongside Nick Sisson. Loser out game in the 1A Boys Basketball State Tournament. Again, the winner takes on defending champion Zilla tomorrow at the same time of 3:45. Annie Wright, Linden Christian, and Royal also already in the quarterfinals due to their victories on a regional weekend last weekend. There's a drive, the kick over to Matt Carlson. He's going to run and float that one on the baseline, and Matt Carlson's got all 5 for the Cashmere Bulldogs. We're back to square one, a 5-5 midway point of this opening quarter. Rico George looking to attack. Dishes this one and threw it into press row. It's a turnover back to Cashmere.
I think the fan wants to keep this souvenir here, Matthew.
I don't think any fans went for the basketball. How dare they?
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Couldn't be me. I'm ready for a basketball to come our way. I'm prepared. Don't worry, Nick. I'll protect you. There's a hand-checking foul going to be called on Seton Catholic. You don't look like you believe me about that, but that's okay.
No, I believe you.
Tyler Tran picks up his first.
I was just thinking that the fans have got to put in a better effort, if they want to walk away with a basketball. Both these teams want to walk away with a basketball as well, made of gold.
Want to be on the all-fans team for sure. There's a kick out, 3-ball on the way from McDevitt. It's money. Tom McDevitt has a 3-pointer, second Bulldog to score, and it's 8-5 Cashmere.
Every basket has come from that far corner there or on the baseline as the Bulldogs force a turnover.
Rylan Hatmaker leading the charge the other way. Splits the defenders, couldn't finish, and Caden Wilson takes in that rebound with authority. Not too often you see an authoritative rebound.
Well, I'll tell you what, Seton Catholic's going to get really frustrated with themselves here if they keep turning the ball over.
Count the bucket plus the foul for Caden Wilson attacking. And a chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way for Wilson.
Yeah, smart play on the defense there, honestly, to try to put that onus on the official to make a charge call against Wilson, who's already got a foul. And, if you've read the scouting report on Seton Catholic, he's the guy that you want to be into foul trouble there as he's adjusting his uniform there as the official walked up and probably said, we got to tuck in that shirt there.
That's a great impression, I'm sure.
It's probably accurate.
3-point play is completed. That was the first foul, by the way, on Matt Carlson.
That was the first field goal by Caden Wilson there as well. And if you're Seton Catholic, you'd love to get him going.
8-5 the score, 8-8 now the score. Rylan Nelson gets that ball underneath to Toby Larson. That shot denied. Caden Wilson heads the other way in transition. Wilson spins his way inside, puts it up with the right around the world and out. Got his own miss. Second time not the charm, but he draws contact. They'll get Toby Larson with his first foul, and 2 more free throws coming up for Mr. Wilson. Yeah,
huge play over on this end here by Mason Glassmeyer to help Seton Catholic get out on that run out. And, you can see Wilson kind of just flip the switch here and wants to attack the basket and help his teammates out on the free throw line here.
First free throw is good for Caden Wilson. Free throw number 2 coming up for the 6'6 sophomore. Got them both.
He's 3 for 3 from the line here in the first quarter.
10-8 Seton Catholic back out in front for the first time since it was 2-0. Rylan Hatmaker traveled.
Yep.
And credit Rico George leaving his feet, kind of making him hit the panic button.
He made it a little bit awkward for him there. But I tell you what, at 5'5", Tyler Tran has great low center of gravity out here, and he moves his feet well. He's a gnat on the defensive end for Seton Catholic.
Rico George going to use the screen. Now drives inside, spins to the elbow, kicks this one out to Mason Glassmeyer. Now it's going to be Rico George again. Pulls up, little floater. That one no good. Rebound taken in by Carlson yet again. Hatmaker Heads the other way. Again, Hatmaker just attacking immediately. Dishes it inside to Toby Larson, who finds the bottom of the net for his first points.
Well, Larson did a good job running over to that far block to us and going right up immediately after establishing the good position.
10-10, this game tied. Final 2 minutes of the opening quarter. Long pass from Wilson over to Glassmeyer for three. Back iron, no good. Running down that rebound was Lance Lee. He's going to attack now. Lee can't finish, but he draws contact, and he'll head to the line for two.
Yeah, second chance opportunity helping the Cougars out right now at the foul line with Lee. And Lee is more known as a defensive specialist, but put up some points against Linden Christian. And you like to see the hustle plays. Collectively, the Cougars are going to have to step up with Angelo out of the lineup thus far.
First foul on Hatmaker. And checking into the ballgame for Seton Catholic looks to be Ben Diochand. Free throw is no good, by the way, from Lee. Second free throw now for Lance Lee is good, and that puts Seton Catholic back out in front. Cashmere has had a nice response for everything Seton Catholic's thrown at him as we go back and forth here in the first quarter. Onto the baseline is Toby Larson, attacks, draws contact, and Larson's going to have the first two free throws for Cashmere.
Yep, again, same design as the previous possession. Larson going over on that far block, and the Cougars extended out into a zone defense right now. It's a great place to attack that zone, Matthew, is down low on the blocks.
First free throw up and good for Larson.
I don't know if we're going to get a stat for this, Matthew, but I'm pretty sure every field goal attempt has gone from that far side of the court so far for Cashmere.
The only thing I can say about that is I guarantee we won't have a stat for that.
Gotcha.
Second free throw good.
All right, if you say so.
Not unless you're keeping it. I want you to start keeping that. I need a shot chart from you.
I'm going to keep a stat on how many times Coolcumber gets said.
I hope that stat comes to an abrupt end. Driving on the baseline. Rico George, beautiful feed to Lee. Just couldn't finish. Ball tipped out, and it's run down by Toby Larson. Larson in transition, going one-on-one with Wilson, who slams that one almost through the backboard and then throws that one off of Tom McDevitt. That is a monster block by Caden Wilson.
Oh, my God. If Seton Catholic had a men's volleyball team, Caden Wilson would definitely be the all-time leader in spikes.
We seriously need to check that backboard to see if there's a dent in it.
Holy moly.
My goodness. Final minute of this quarter. Diochan going to work. Spins and now dishes it out to Lee. Lee attacks to Caden Wilson. Wilson, a little bit of happy feet as he travels before the drive. Gives the ball back to Cashmere. And some subs for Cashmere for the first time. Cole Norman, as was Colton Sendera, checking in for the Bulldogs.
You know, I mean, Wilson almost touched the top of the backboard on that block. I cannot believe the athleticism for that young man.
The only reason he didn't was because he didn't want to. To Toby Larson, now gives back to Larson. Splits the defenders, just left it a little bit short. Shot clock turned off. Seton Catholic can hold for the final shot.
Yeah, great recovery there by Larson. Diochan got a hand on it.
Caden Wilson gives the ball to Rico George near wing. Rico, little crossover. Beautiful take by Rico with the right hand, and it's good. George puts Seton Catholic back out in front. 9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Looking to attack Rylan Nelson. Nelson pulls up, takes the three. He's fouled, and Nelson's going to get 3 free throws as they're going to get Rico George with the big foul.
Ooh. Tough closeout there to have a foul go against you with the clock winding down. But on the other end, on that last possession, a nice soft touch there by Rico George.
First free throw up and good for Rylan Nelson, his first point. Free throw number 2 coming up for Mr. Nelson. That one also good. Friendly roll. Can they complete a perfect quarter from the free throw line?
Uh-oh.
I know, I'm playing with fire. I thought about it too. Rylan Nelson cannot. Man. It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. There's a heat from Caden Wilson, who's off his back foot and gave it a good look, but it doesn't fall. 14-13, Cashmere has the lead after a quarter play. We'll step aside, come back with the start of the second after this on the E-Line NFHS Sports Networks.
At first, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
The weather is changing, and it's time to make sure your vehicle is ready for heavy rain, cold morning starts, plus ice and snow. Schedule an appointment now at Point S Centralia OK Tire to have a multi-point inspection. The pros at Point S will check your shocks, brakes, including fluid, battery, and of course your tires. Point S Centralia OK Tire has the best brand name tires like Cooper, Goodyear, and Nokian in stock and ready to put on. Your new tires also come with a warranty good at over 200 locations. Point S Centralia OK Tire, 1741 Harrison Avenue in Centralia.
Welcome back to the WIA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Giesa Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the NFHS Network. Matthew King alongside Nick Sisson, 14-13. Cashmere has the lead as we begin quarter number 2. There's the putback, and it is no good. Missed opportunities there for Cashmere, and then they throw it away. Possession back to Seton Catholic. Not exactly how the Bulldogs wanted to start quarter number 2.
Well, I mean, honestly, they got a good look, and they got a second chance opportunity. You know, not much more you can ask from your team other than making one of those 2 shots, but second chance points have been available here for Cashmere.
Pull-up jumper from Caden Wilson, no good. The board for Toby Larson. He heads the other way for the Bulldogs. This one thrown behind Cole Norman. It's a turnover. Once again, Media Row got to stay awake.
Oh, the far side scorers table's already on it. They have been. The only opportunities they got is this near sideline here. If the ball was right in front of us, we'd grab it, Matt.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to shy away. I might take a shot. I don't know. I'm feeling it today. Driving here is going to be Tyler Tran. Kicks it out. 3-ball, no good from Glassmeyer. Rebound for Cashmere. Cashmere doing a great job on the board so far in this ball game. We already had the block of the tournament in the first quarter. If you missed it by Caden Wilson, the 6'6 sophomore. Looking to drive here is Rylan Nelson. He spins away. Beautiful feed down low to Toby Larson, who again couldn't finish around Wilson. Ball tipped out of play. It'll stay on this end. Caden Wilson's just a defensive menace.
Well, he went straight up too, Matt. You know, when you got a foul on you, they're a little bit thinner in the lineup, Seton Catholic is. Definitely want to make sure you stay available as they're going to sub in here Roberto Valdez off the bench. Valdez with good size, and it's probably a smart substitution, honestly. And I think the officials are getting together here to talk about whether or not the shot hit the rim. The shot clock's at 8. I think it did draw rim, and they're going to get a reset on it. No. The official on the far side says no rim.
You're wrong, Mr. Sisson.
Hey, I just thought I saw what I saw. You know, the officials have more eyes combined than I do.
That's true. Rylan Nelson, 3 on the shot clock. Gets this one in the corner. Got to get a shot up. Little hoist, no good from McDevitt. That one draws rim. Put back. Toby Larson's foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, again, though, I'm going to emphasize Cashmere's ability to get the offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities. I mean, it's not a huge difference on the scoreboard, but it's a big difference in terms of, you know, how they're able to give themselves more opportunities than Catholic, and they got to just box out better, the Cougars.
First free throw good for Toby Larson. That foul the first on Roberto Valdez. And back in for Cashmere, Matt Carlson. Free throw number 2 coming up for Toby. Takes his time. Now hoists up the shot, and it's no good. Caden Wilson again with a big rebound. He makes sure nobody can wrestle that basketball away from him. Getting the screen there is Rico George. George looking to go to work, gets another screen. He'll attack inside. George puts up the floater. No good, too strong. One and done yet again for the Cougars.
Great recovery defense, though, by Cashmere. Their length is really bothering Seton Catholic right now.
A nice little wraparound pass from Toby Larson in the corner. That three ball's good for Matt Carlson. He looks refreshed after a little bit of a breather. He's got 8, and Cashmere's got the largest lead of the game at 5. 18-13 Bulldogs. Beautiful take by Caden Wilson. Hangs in the air forever, but could not finish, and another rebound for Toby Larson. Cashmere continues to clean up the boards. There's a kick out. Another three ball on the way for Carlson, and he is feeling it. Back-to-back threes for Matt Carlson. He's got 3 in the game for 11 points. 21-13 Cashmere. Rico George attacks inside. He draws contact, and George is going to the line for 2. That foul on Colton Stendera, his first. But, Nick, right now, Matt Carlson taking over this game after re-entering.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really had to do it with a lot of volume either. He's just really cashing in on his opportunities, shooting the ball very well from long range, leading all scorers in the game as George hits the first there for the Cougars. Stop the bleeding a little bit.
Free throw number 2.
They also got Mason Glassmeyer back in there after that first free throw.
George knocks them both down. 21-15, Cashmere's got the lead. 5:23 left here in the first half. Looking to attack on the left side is Nelson. Rylan Nelson gives this one to Colton Stendera. They'll go inside. Rylan Nelson backing down his man. Going to put that one up with the left. No good. Putback is good. Cashmere just dominating the boards. There's nothing else to it, Nate.
No, I mean, the shooter gets his own rebound after shooting from 4 feet away. You got to get a body on him.
Caden Wilson step back 3 on the way. That one's off target. Rebound saved by Glassmeyer, but he just kind of threw it away.
And again, a ball goes into the stands here on the near side, but there's a fan, Johnny, on the spot. But, you know, Wilson's probably not wanting to make his living out here on the three-point line, and I think that you got to do is you got to get him working down low and somebody to enter the ball to him.
We just kind of saw Mark Morris have to survive a storm as attacking there and scoring is Rylan Nelson. Mark Morris didn't panic when Squim was shooting lights out. Right now it feels like Seton Catholic is panicking a little bit. Diochan. How about Ben Diochan for 3?
Well,
Seton Catholic needed that.
If Seton Catholic can get going, Diochan's effort on that 3 and then getting the ball poked loose, it might be something we look back on.
They go into Carlson. He dishes this one out. 3 ball. That one's good for Tom McDevitt. It's a 3-party for the Cashmere Bulldogs, back up by 10.
Well, they're hitting at a very high percentage, and they're getting the second chance opportunities.
Caden Wilson blows by his man, puts this one up, count it, plus the foul. Wilson a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with the call there. I think that the defender was a little bit late getting over, and Wilson ends up converting. But again, smart defensive strategy by the Bulldogs. You know, you want to get in that guy's way and see if you can make him earn it at the free throw line or cause him to pick up a player control foul.
It's hard to have a problem with the call when it's the right call. Rylan Hatmaker just checked back in for Cashmere as Wilson completes the 3-point play yet again. Also, it was Lance Lee along with Kit and Gwen onto the floor for Seton Catholic. McDevitt hands this one out to Rylan Nelson, and that ball knocked out of play. It'll stay with Cashmere as once again getting involved is Diochan, who's bringing some energy off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need it. More than anything right now is they need to start forcing some one-and-dones for Cashmere. You know, Cashmere, again, shooting the ball very well. If they are going to miss, you got to grab the board.
Rylan Hatmaker kicks this one out. That 3 ball's money for Colton Stendera. His first bucket. And Cashmere continues to have every answer to what Seton Catholic shows them on defense.
Well, it's just raining threes right now on the Cougars.
Lee's going to drive, splits the defenders, couldn't finish, and a late whistle. And he's going to go to the line for 2. That whistle came after he was already on the ground.
Yeah, Cashmere was halfway up the court. Not quite. But
Not quite. Close.
they were ready to run. That's for dang sure.
Colton Stendera, his second foul. 2 free throws coming for Lance Lee, short on the first.
Rasheed Wallace probably in attendance here.
Yeah?
Screaming ball don't lie.
I think I see him.
I hear it. Yep, see? The Cashmere fans right behind us, they know Rasheed Wallace's popular saying, former Trailblazer.
Tom McDevitt might have to sub out. It looks like he's got some blood on his leg. The Cashmere girls, by the way, got the job done earlier today in a defensive battle, beating Montesano 35-28. Football score, by the way. I was on the call for that. You can call me Mr. Cashmere, I guess, today.
Doing a great job.
I appreciate it. At least I get to call them Bulldogs in this game. It was Bulldogs versus Bulldogs in the girls' game. You can't really use that.
There's a few Bulldogs here. Well, Foster was here, but they're eliminated.
Ellensburg will be here tomorrow.
Ellensburg, yep. Bulldogs, sources say.
Sources confirm, I think. Second free throw is good. I don't know why the horn went off there right as Lance Lee was about to shoot, but it didn't affect him. 31-22 the lead for Cashmere. Immediately looking to attack is Rylan Nelson. Steps through traffic. That ball sat on the back of the rim forever. Got his own miss yet again. And offensive rebounding dominance for Cashmere. I can't wait to see that number on the halftime stats.
Wow. I think it's going to be very, very heavily favoring Cashmere.
3 ball on the way from Glassmeyer doesn't go as right on cue, Seton Catholic, a one and done. Nelson again biding his time, and then he looks like he shot out of a cannon. Steps through traffic, got it to go. No, they're going to say he's fouled on the drive. That foul going to go against Rico George, his second. Back into the ballgame for Seton Catholic is Caden Wilson, as well as Tyler Tran. That's a duo coming back in. Yeah, 6'6" Wilson and 5'5" Tran. Strong pass there from Hatmaker in the corner, and falling down on the drive was Tom McDevitt. We're going to have another late foul call, this one against Seton Catholic. This is going to be on Lance Lee. His first. Oh, they're saying that's his second.
Bounce pass, nice.
Beautiful feed inside. Rylan Nelson is now in double figures with 10. And Cashmere, they're doing it on the perimeter with Matt Carlson and company. They're doing it on the inside with Rylan Nelson. And now they are rolling.
We got a flat tire here, Matt.
Do have a flat tire. So remember, when you have a flat tire on the road, think Point S Tires, like the Point S location at Centralia OK Tire. When you just need a flat fix, go to the pros at Point S Tires. Thanks for the assist there.
Well, the flat tire's in the form of blood, I guess, on the knee. But still,
it is.
You know, I hear that tires can leak occasionally.
Rylan Nelson was tying his shoes, so I don't want to hear it.
I got you. I'm with you on it. This has been a clinical second quarter here for Cashmere. They've already got 21 up on the scoreboard, and they're getting pretty much whatever they want anywhere they want it right now.
Still 2:26 left in the second. Plenty of time to add on. Right now, Rico George brings the ball up the floor. For Seton Catholic, you got to think they might need to see some threes. That's not going to be one of them as the shot was blocked by Nelson yet again. Rylan Nelson getting his name called on every possession, it feels like, both offensively and defensively. He's going to drive here. Dishes a beautiful feed down low and an easy 2 for Toby Larson. What can't Rylan Nelson do?
Yeah. Anything wrong would probably be the answer.
Stepping into a 3, Caden Wilson from deep. Big-time response. Seton Catholic needed that one.
Double figures now for Wilson.
Attacking the other way, Stendera kind of lost that one. Ball kicked out of play. Last touch by Toby Larson. There's the stop Seton Catholic needed. There haven't been too many stops defensively for the Cougars in quarter number 2, sorry.
This is a huge minute 35 now here for Seton Catholic. They got to try to get this thing down to about 8 heading into the locker room.
Caden Wilson, another deep 3, and he got it to go yet again.
Might have been some contact there too, Matt. 13 now for Wilson. Personal 6-0 run.
It's a 9-point game. Pass up to Tom McDevitt. All alone underneath was Toby Larson. Goes right at Wilson. No fear. Toby Larson's up to 9 in the first half.
A great response there by the Bulldogs to end that Wilson 6-0 run.
George drives. He's going to be fouled on the drive. It'll be the 4th team foul on Cashmere.
Yeah, not really a foul that you needed to commit right there in that situation. And plus, it's going to be the 3rd on Colton Stendera.
He's going to sub out immediately as Cole Norman's back in. Stendera giving some life off the bench as well. He did knock down a 3.
Yeah, getting it to 9, getting it to 8. That should be really the realistic goal here.
Caden Wilson is cut off, looking for some space. He's going to drive again. He scored the last 6, can't make it the last 8 as he can't finish there. And he tipped that ball loose, and he's going to be called for a foul here. The first tip was clean. It's the second one where he kind of went over him to try and save that ball. That's going to get him the foul.
Not detrimental to have 2 fouls before half, but something we'll keep our eye on here, especially over the next 51 seconds and into that 3rd quarter, Matthew.
I like the effort. 39-28, the Cashmere lead, 46 seconds. Attacking here, stepping through traffic was Hatmaker, and the pass couldn't be reeled in. It's a turnover. Might have gotten away with the travel on that drive. I digress. Caden Wilson. Couple of deep threes since re-entering this game late in the 2nd quarter. He's going to have his pocket picked, and he's going to pick up that 3rd foul.
Yeah.
That's more detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give Ryland Nelson a lot of credit there. You know, he read that crossover beautifully, deflected it, and, you know, the scrap that came right after that, hard to not call a foul in that situation, Matthew.
And that is the 5th team foul, so free throws for Ryland Nelson. There's 28.7 left on the clock. He got the first.
Well, only 1 missed free throw, I think, here in this first half so far for Cashmere.
Second free throw for Ryland Nelson. Got them both.
See, I didn't jinx him. You did earlier.
You weren't specific. I definitely played with fire. I knew as soon as I said it. 41-28. Cashmere got the lead. 22 seconds left. Seton Catholic has the ball. Rico George drives, kicks it out to Lance Lee. Lee's going to attack now inside. Steps around his defender, left it short. Rebound for Toby Larson. Heads the other way. Larson swarmed by Cougars. Ball knocked loose by Caden Wilson. Seton Catholic gets it right back. Wilson up the floor. 5 seconds. Caden Wilson steps through. Left that one short, got his own miss. And he's fouled. He's going in line for 2 regardless of it. It was a shooting foul because that's the 5th team foul on Cashmere.
Yeah, big sequence there. You know, we saw that huge block earlier. Wilson was sizing up another, but then at the last second goes low and pokes it loose. Gets out on a run out. Has a chance to trim this deficit down as the first one's no good.
1.9 left, as that's also the 3rd foul on Toby Larson. So both teams with a pivotal player with 5 fouls, or 3 fouls, pardon me, as number 5, Caden Hoffman, checks in. Yeah, I didn't just pull 5 out of thin air. I was looking at it. Second free throw for Wilson. Up and no good. Missed them both. Cashmere going to get a heave off, and it's going to be well short. And that's how the first half comes to an end. 41-28, Cashmere has the lead at the midway point. We will step aside, come back with a John L. Scott Realty halftime show next here on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks.
To 6 locally.
The Seton Catholic Cougars, and Nick, pretty big storyline developing as stepping into the ball game. Brady Angelo for Seton Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the water boy, you know, last game of the season, can't hold anything back now. And, you know, for Angelo, I mean, he's right in front of us actually at the moment, inbounding, heavily taped up on his right ankle, and he's going to go back into the backcourt and bring this across. It's going to be interesting seeing Wilson playing off of him, and if they can somehow generate some easier looks.
We now have the three-headed monster as Caden Wilson pull-up jumper just inside the arc. No good. Ball secured once again by Cashmere. No surprise there. Hatmaker up the floor to Tom McDevitt. He's going to slow up a little bit, and Cashmere looks like going to have a slower-paced offense, at least on this first possession. As Hatmaker drives and dishes. Rylan Nelson been the star of the game. Nice running floater with the left. Rylan Nelson up to 14 points, and Cashmere picks up right where they left off.
You know who I want to compare Nelson to right now?
Tell me.
Carson Bogner.
Carson Bogner. All right, I like it.
They're both very smooth left-handers, and they can float. Great touch.
Caden Wilson looking to attack. There's no one you compare Caden Wilson to. Couldn't finish that shot, though. Scramble for the rebound. Wilson's got 3 fouls. He's got to be careful. Heading the other way, Rylan Nelson. Nelson underhands this one to Rylan Hatmaker. A beautiful feed underneath the basket. Count it plus the foul for Toby Larson, and that's going to be the 4th on Caden Wilson.
That was just a tough spot to be in. Pass right under the basket. The ball movement spectacular. The positioning equally spectacular for the Bulldogs.
Chance for the three-point play for Toby Larson, and no one getting up to check in for Seton Catholic. And when you're down 17 in the third quarter, you really can't afford to pull off one of your playmakers.
I mean,
free throw is no good. That's going to be a foul on Tom McDevitt.
I'm not going to challenge what the coach's thought process is here. You know, your season is on the line. On the other hand, I mean, you really put yourself in a tough position there, Matt. You know, it's a tough call to make, honestly. Bottom line is somebody other than Wilson's going to have to step up and help Seton Catholic. They got to move the ball better.
Glassmeyer gets this one to Angelo. Angelo dishes it back over to Rico George for 3. That could be the guy. Rico George buries a 3. His first tray of the game. And Seton Catholic has their first points of the third quarter. Rylan Hatmaker going to attack. Dishes this one now to Nelson. Rylan Nelson splits the defenders, kind of lulled his defender to sleep. Couldn't finish, though. Caden Wilson saves that one to Angelo, who's going to be called for a kick ball. And, yeah, he kind of did the soccer pass.
Yeah, probably the right call there.
You can take out that probably.
Yeah.
That ball tipped into the hands of Matt Carlson for 3. He just can't miss a tray. He doesn't force him, but that is his 4th 3 of the ball game, and a whistle on the other end. A foul going to be called on Tom McDevitt, his 2nd.
Yeah, he's 4 for 6, shooting 66% from 3. Sources say that's good.
Sources confirm. Now this Cashmere team, they're dangerous out. With the basketball, Rico George.
Played some tough games this year, that's for sure.
Attacking is George. The floater, no good. Got his own miss. Kicks it out. Caden Wilson, deep 3 on the way. That one's short. Rico George, another offensive rebound. Hands this one to Angelo. His first shot going to be a 3. Back iron, no good. Caden Wilson scrapping for the rebound. Got it. Count it, plus the foul.
Yeah, extra effort there leading to extra chance points. You know, Seton Catholic's not going to go away quietly here, Matthew. Cashmere's still got to do what they did to get him to this point, which is secure the basketball after missed shots.
They have that as just the 3rd on Toby Larson. I have it as his 4th. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. That free throw no good from Wilson. 15-point lead for Cashmere. With the basketball on the far wing, Rylan Nelson gets around Wilson. Nelson and dish at the last second. Would like to see him just put up the shot. Luckily, Rylan Hatmaker keeps possession alive for Cashmere. Nelson pulls the trigger on a 3. That doesn't go. Caden Wilson the rebound. And he waits till everyone clears out to get the ball to Rico George.
Yeah, the strategy for Cashmere's got to be get the ball to whoever Wilson's guarding.
George pull-up floater. That one doesn't fall. The board for Larson. Up to Nelson. Nelson looking to attack. He goes right at Wilson, trying to initiate contact. Didn't get a whistle and missed the shot as well. The rebound for Glassmeyer.
Yeah, great idea there.
Long pass from Angelo up to Lee for 3, and he knocks it down. Lance Lee's first field goal. And Seton Catholic's cut it down to a 12-point ball game. That's going to draw a timeout from Cashmere. They just want a 30, so we'll keep it right here. 48-36, Cashmere the lead. 4:35 left in the third quarter.
Go ahead, sorry.
What fuels you more, strength you build or strength you share? The Sports Nutrition Game Plan is a premier program for high school athletes, coaches, trainers, and parents. Learn how protein powers training, performance, and recovery with beef as a key source. Find athlete-focused recipes at wabeef.org/sports nutrition game plan. What were you going to say, Nick?
I was going to say Cashmere still has work to do here. I mean, they're not out of the woods yet. They may have built this lead up to 17, and they may have done almost everything right that they could have done in that first half. But, you know, just the fact that they have another veteran body back out there in Angelo is going to make a big difference down the stretch for Seton Catholic.
And he's a distraction at the very least. I mean, you have to respect him because we know he can go off in the blink of an eye. That floater no good, too strong, trying to save his Glassmeyer. It hit the backboard, I believe.
Underneath.
Keep possession with Cashmere. Tom McDevitt.
Probably should have been a reset there.
McDevitt doesn't care.
Extra opportunities again, helping Cashmere.
McDevitt's third three. Rico George looking to attack. Kicks this one out to Angelo. Angelo back to George. George pulls the trigger. Contested three. It doesn't matter. Nice response for Rico. George is starting to heat up.
Yeah, he's got 10. He's really come alive here in the third. Still 4 to go in the quarter.
I'll raise you. He's got a dozen.
Oh, good deal.
Spinning is Rylan Nelson. Gets inside. Kicks this one out. A three ball now from Matt Carlson. Left it short. He's human after all. Caden Wilson, long pass up to Lance Lee. Lee's going to attack. Gets it to go, plus the foul.
Yeah, great call by the official there. And Lee is still shaken up as he hit that support pad underneath the extension of the hoop. And, you know, here we are, 10-point game.
He gets that one on Matt Carlson. They have that as his third. As Tyler Tran checks in. By the way, good sportsmanship by Caden Hoffman, checking on Lee and helping him up. And they're taking Rico George out of the game for now. I have a feeling it's going to be a short breather.
Oh.
Second free throw for Lee. Got it. Gets the three the old-fashioned way. It's a single-digit deficit, 51-42. Cashmere still out in front, but Seton Catholic making a charge. There's addition to the corner. Rylan Hatmaker drives, kicks it into the opposite corner. Carlson back out. Three ball for McDevitt. He can't hit that one. Cashmere kind of coming back down to earth from beyond the arc. Brady Angelo underhands it to Lance Lee. He'll attack. Lee draws all the attention out to Tran. Tran now to Caden Wilson. He's going to attack, and Caden Wilson throws it down. He's a grown man, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 7-point game. Whoa. A timeout taken by Cashmere. They want a full timeout. We'll go ahead and take one with them. 51-42. Cashmere's got the lead. 2:52 to go here in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere back after this. Here at the Yakima Valley Sun Dome and the WIA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Geeser Credit Union. All the live championship action on the NFHS Network. Matthew King alongside Nick Sisson here for the Eli Sports Network with the hard-working kids of West Valley High School and Toppenish High School, although Toppenish might have left for the day. I know they're only here for the first half because they have athletes and coaches for the spring sports, but they've done a phenomenal job over on the girls' court.
Well, speaking of a phenomenal job, the Cashmere Band has done a phenomenal job so far. Got me really excited about the Linden Band tomorrow.
One of the best bands in the state, the Cashmere Bulldogs. They've got the basketball as Seton Catholic has fought back into this. It's just a 7-point game. Looking to attack here, Matt Carlson hands this one off. Rylan Hatmaker spins. Hatmaker dishes. 4 on the shot clock. Cashmere got to get a look. Nelson on the baseline, and he pushed off. It's an offensive foul on Rylan Nelson. Gives Seton Catholic the basketball.
Yeah, the Cashmere supporters over here disagree with that decision, but Rylan Nelson had to go baseline, and Lee was in position. And I think that, the officials have done a really good job so far in this ball game, to be honest with you, Matt.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. 51-44, Cashmere on top of Seton Catholic with firm control of momentum. Lance Lee, a big part of that, a big and one, and then just drew the offensive foul. He attacks, dishes, 3-ball for Glassmeyer on the way. That doesn't drop. Wilson, smart play by Caden Wilson to not try too hard for that offensive rebound and risk fouling out. There's a bounce pass on the cut, and spinning and throwing up a shot is McDevitt. Draws contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Mason Glassmeyer, his second.
Yeah, the Cougars are arguing that one was on the floor, but they're going to get shots here for McDevitt. McDevitt did wisely throw the ball up at the point of contact.
His first is short.
It's a real interesting part of the game here. We got just over 10 minutes of game time left.
George just re-entered. Sorry, Nick.
You can kind of see the tightness start to play out here for Cashmere. They're not playing quite as loose and confident as they were in that first half.
And neither free throw drops. Somehow that one, I believe, was touching net and popped back out. Brady Angelo going to drive. Angelo dishes to Caden Wilson. Wilson thought about a 3. He's going to elect to survey the court, and that one knocked loose. Heading the other way are the Bulldogs, and getting it right back, Rico George draws contact. That's going to be a foul on McDevitt. That's his third, and that's the team's 5th free throws for Rico George.
Yeah, you got to give Rico George a ton of credit for not giving up on the play, but man, Rylan Nelson has picked Wilson's pocket a couple of times here. You got to really look at the game that Nelson's had so far here for Cashmere. He's a guy that you really want to lean on.
They put that one on Colby Diaz, who has not been in the game for Cashmere.
Yeah, I don't know what the scorers table's been doing so far here today.
First free throw for Rico George is no good. In the game for Seton Catholic is going to be Lance Lee, a quick breather for him. Second free throw for Rico George. That one's good. Rico George up to 13 points. And it's a 6-point game. Looking to attack here, McDevitt. Gets into the corner. That ball was poke check from behind. I think Wilson got his hand on that one. Lance Lee, long throw up to Rico George. He's going to go right at the basket. Couldn't finish. Nice rebound by Matt Carlson and a whistle and a foul. No, they're going to call a travel. Yep. Angelo forcing that one.
Yeah, Angelo snuck up on that outlet pass and caused a little extra step there before the ball got put down.
So Seton Catholic's going to get the ball in the baseline. 1:24 left in the third. Angelo will now inbound. Try to get that one to George. Instead, will outlet to Wilson. He'll now hand this one back to Angelo. Angelo's going to drive, showing that foot and ankle are fine. Lance Lee now loses possession and his dribble. Back out to Angelo. 15 on the shot clock. Brady uses the screen. He's going to attack. Angelo dishes Caden Wilson for 3. That one doesn't go. Lee had the offensive rebound and tried to put it up before he secured it. And that's going to give possession to Cashmere. Get across the timeline. And a little bit of a bobble there from Sendera. And Tom McDevitt gives the ball to Rylan Nelson. And he should be touching the basketball on every possession right now for Cashmere. He'll attack, dishes it. Rylan Hatmaker gets the elbow. He's going to be fouled. That's going to be the third team foul on Seton Catholic and resets the shot clock with 34.7 to go here in the third quarter. Rico George picks up his second. Catch and shoot 3 on the inbound for Stendera. That one doesn't fall. And a couple Cougars going after the rebound. It ends up with Tyler Tran. They're going to move this one over to Caden Wilson. Caden Wilson, a beautiful finish. Gets it to go, and he's up to 20. It's a 4-point game. Shot clock turned off here in the third. Somehow Nelson got through all the traffic. Stendera, corner 3. That one's good.
What an answer there.
Colton Stendera, his second 3. Time for one last look for Seton Catholic into the corner. Tran for 3. That one off the side of the backboard, no good. 1.9 as that ball goes out of play. It's going to be Cashmere with the inbound and a heave. Toby Larson lobs it into Nelson. Nelson going to throw one up at the horn. Good if it goes, but it doesn't. And we are off to the final quarter, 54-47. We got a ball game here in Yakima. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter coming up right after this.
Oh, honey.
Mom, can't we just talk about,
Oh, my.
You and Dad have it, right?
Yeah.
My friend Maya says that her parents have a lot of...
Oh, goodness.
Families back then really didn't talk about money.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Well, college is coming.
Find a healthier approach to money at Giza.
Are you interested in continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed
alongside Nick Sisson. But Nick, it felt like there early in the third quarter, Cashmere was about to blow this thing wide open.
Well, they were. They were up 17 in the quarter. It was 45-28. And if you look up now, it's 54-47. And if you're Cashmere, you got to remember what you did to get to this point. A great ball movement, crashing the offensive glass. And Caden Wilson's been playing with 4 fouls. He has not exited the game at all, despite the foul trouble. And he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but big contributions there in the quarter from the other guys for Seton Catholic.
See how Cashmere responds. Rylan Nelson, there's a good start to the fourth quarter for the Bulldogs. Nelson drives to the basket immediately and gets the lead back up to 9.
And he's got 16 leading the way for the Bulldogs, and he's just been so smooth and crafty.
Brady Angelo has only played in the second half. He hasn't scored yet. He's only taken 1 shot to my memory. Caden Wilson thought about a deep 3, kept that left foot down. He's going to attack, gets to the basket, couldn't finish. Around the world now. Dangerous play there from Wilson as he tried to knock that ball loose. A whistle, and stepping on the sideline was Rylan Hatmaker. It's a turnover back to Seton Catholic.
Yeah, that was a nice take back there by Wilson. Just unfortunately missed the shot, but man, he's got to be careful. He came down hard trying to get that ball stripped out. Playing with fire.
Toby Larson just checked back in for Cashmere. He is also playing with 4 fouls. Angelo gets this one over to Wilson. 3 ball on the way. Just a little bit off. The rebound for Cashmere. Again, Cashmere has dominated the boards for the most part. Rylan Nelson trapped here right in front of us, and a whistle and a timeout taken by the Bulldogs. Just a 30. We'll keep it here. 56-47. Cashmere leads. 7:01 left to go in this ball game. WIA is accepting applications for the Smart Choices Scholarship Program until March 14th. Proudly funded by Giza Credit Union and the Dairy Farmers of Washington, the Smart Choices Scholarship Program rewards student participants for making smart decisions. Learn more and apply online at WIAA.com/smartchoices. Deadline again is March 14th. When's the deadline, Nick?
March 14th.
Nailed it. I didn't even put the live read down. He was actually paying attention. 56-47, Cashmere the lead, 7:01 to go in this ball game. It is Cashmere basketball. Rico George is trying to trick the referee into getting Seton Catholic the basketball. That would have been something else if it would have worked. There's a little lob on the weak side off the glass. Matt Carlson has it too. He's got 16 points very quietly in this game for Cashmere. Not too quietly.
Yeah, he's dialed it up from long distance 4 times. He's happy with his long distance provider.
Caden Wilson couldn't finish at the basketball. Tipped around. Toby Larson's got it. And Cashmere seems like has taken back control here in the fourth quarter.
I like the possessions, though, for Seton Catholic right at the hoop.
Rylan Nelson takes it in with the left. He's got 18. And Cashmere's got their lead back up to 13 with 6:21 to go.
Yeah, they've done a good job of handling the comeback by Seton Catholic.
Angelo spins and dishes. They get the ball back to George. Rico George attacks with the right hand. Beautiful touch by Rico. He's got 15 now. And Seton Catholic has their first bucket of the fourth quarter. Nelson does such a good job of letting things clear out before he makes his decision. 3 ball on the way. That one in and out from Matt Carlson. Surprised that one didn't drop. That might have been an early dagger. Nelson going to attack here. Puts that one up, or excuse me, Wilson. Draws the contact, and Wilson's going to line for 2.
Sources say that the Cashmere Bulldog fan base does not agree with that decision.
I don't think I've heard them agree with the call yet, though, so. And that's the 4th now on Stendera. Yeah, no, they're still, I think they're saying, good job.
Yeah. Different tone than I'm used to when you agree with something.
Yeah, Caden Wilson's first free throw short. He's missed 4 consecutive from the line, Nick.
That's tough.
He hit the first 4 of the ball game. And, well, got to get back to that free throw shooting. Second, gets the friendly roll, so he splits him in a timeout taken by Seton Catholic, another 30. So, again, we will stay here. 60-50, 5:46 to go in this ball game. Again, this is the first 1A game for the boys of the night. And if this is setting the tone, you're in for an exciting night. Overlake and Meridian coming up next, followed by Bellevue Christian against Kings, and then Chelan and the Bear Creek School. To cap things off, you want to watch a fun player. The Bear Creek School has Max Bieber, the cousin of Shane Bieber, former Cy Young Award winner. You thought I was going to say Justin, didn't you?
Oh, no. Well, Shane's also a former Cowlitz Black Bear.
Yeah, yes,
he
is.
So that's really cool, you know. And you don't see a school named the Bear Creek School very often. In fact, they're the only one.
And they will play a team that you don't see that mascot too often, the Chelan Mountain Goats.
Yeah.
Well, so that's going to be a game you're going to want to hang out for.
Well, the Mountain Goats gave the Bulldogs a little bit of trouble this year. They got 2 victories against them. Nice rejection there. That was Mason Glassmeyer defensively.
Caden Wilson, he's looking to drive immediately. Steps through some traffic, draws contact, plus the foul. Caden Wilson, chance for a 3-point play. He's up to 23.
Well, the Cougars are going to live and die by what happens in Caden Wilson. And he's been doing all this with 4 fouls.
They have that as only the 4th on Larson. Again, I have that as the 5th.
Well,
my account doesn't matter.
Nope.
Free throw is good for Caden Wilson.
Do you feel insignificant with that, Matthew?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's okay. I occasionally have those feelings.
7-point game. Hatmaker going to bounce pass it out to Matt Carlson. Carlson hands it back. Rylan Nelson through a lot of Cougar defenders. Long pass back to Carlson. Carlson drives. Nice feed down low, putting that one up was Toby Larson. Couldn't finish, ball tipped around. Lance Lee's got it. Seton Catholic heads the other way. They'll slow it down. Rico George goes right at the basket, puts up with the right. Beautiful touch there from Rico. It's a 5-point game.
George has stepped up big time here in the second half. He's up to 16 now.
Again, Brady Angelo hasn't scored, but just the attention that he draws tells you how good of a basketball player he is. Sendera is trapped on the baseline. He needs some help. Finally gets it out to Rylan Hatmaker. Hatmaker now drives to the left, puts it up with the right. No good. Offensive rebound for Sendera. He's going to be fouled, and I think that is going to be on Wilson. That'll be his 5th if it is. And no, good news, it's on Glassmeyer. Good news if you're a Seton Catholic fan.
They get it on the floor or shots? It looks like shots here.
It's going to be 2 free throws for Colton Sendera, his first trip to the free throw line.
Well, Cashmere needs to be less worried about Wilson fouling out and more worried about converting here, and they do with that first free throw by Stendera.
Checking back in for Cashmere, Tom McDevitt, as Toby Larson going to have a seat with those 4 fouls.
This is a big one here. Could make it a 3-possession game.
Sendera puts it up, and he didn't get it to go. Rebound for Lee. Got to give a lot of credit to Lance Lee. He's been phenomenal in the second half as well.
Look at Angelo. He's grimacing out there when he sprints across. You can tell he's really fighting through it here.
Rico gives the ball to Caden Wilson. Wilson spins away. He is swarmed. 12 on the shot clock. He's got to do something. Finally does. Wilson steps through, puts one up at the right, draws the contact. He's going to the line, and that's on Stendera.
4 minutes to go in this one. And the foul's starting to rack up a little bit here for Cashmere, and that's going to be the 5th foul as well. Colton Stendera has been disqualified from the game, so somebody else is going to have to step up here in that lineup for the Bulldogs. Tran back into the game for Seton Catholic for Mason Glassmeyer.
Midway point of the fourth quarter, free throw for Wilson, no good. And we're attacking the rebound, not realizing, oh yeah, he didn't make the shot this time.
Yeah, well, he's made a lot of them.
The second free throw, also no good. So missed free throws continue to haunt Seton Catholic. Rylan Hatmaker up the floor. He's going to give this one over to Cole Norman, or tried to. Ends up as a steal for Tran. Gets this one up to Caden Wilson. Great athletic take by Caden Wilson. He's up to 26, and it's a 4-point ball game once again.
Defense leading to offense on that run out.
Cole Norman, nice feed to Rylan Nelson, and Nelson going to be called for the offensive foul.
Lee is again down on the court. He has been taking a beating trying to get in position in front of these defenders. Still slow to get up.
Lance Lee's doing it all. The Cashmere fans still not happy. And a full timeout going to be taken by Seton Catholic. We're going to go ahead and take one with them. 61-57. Cashmere's got the lead. Seton Catholic's got the ball. 3:32. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the WIA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Giesa Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the NFHS Network. Matthew King alongside Nick Sisson here for Eli Sports. And Nick, normally day one kind of has the aura of being, the quiet day. A lot of we haven't got that today.
No,
it's been electric.
Every game except for one has come down to the last minute or so, and I'm just really blessed to see all these teams compete here today, and Wilson going to work again. What's new?
It's a 2-point game. Caden Wilson's got 28.
Sources say that's one possession.
It is a one-possession game currently.
Oh,
and there's a turnover. And the meltdown continues for Cashmere. Seton Catholic can tie it or take the lead. Oh my goodness, what a comeback for Seton Catholic just to get it here. And they aren't finished. Brady Angelo gives this one to Rico George. They want to go to Caden Wilson, instead it's back to Angelo. Angelo for three and the lead. No good, that would have been his first bucket. Ball tipped around, we have a whistle. And it's going to go against Seton Catholic. And that's on Mason Glassmeyer.
Yeah, they got Glassmeyer over the back trying to tip the ball to a teammate. That's his third personal.
2:51 to go. Big possession for Cashmere. They have only scored 7 points so far here in the fourth quarter. Looking to attack is Rylan Hatmaker. Dishes over to Matt Carlson. Carlson now gives this one back to Tom McDevitt. Pump fake now over to Nelson. Nelson swarm, kicks this one back out. Three from Matt Carlson, no good. The rebound ripped down by Lee.
Those shots that were falling in the first half aren't falling at this point here in the ball game for Cashmere.
Lee hands this one to Angelo. Long pass. George going to drive on the baseline. He is denied. Got the missed it. Angelo puts it up and in. First points for Brady Angelo. We're tied.
It's 0-0 essentially here, Matt, at 61 up.
Carlson, nice little wraparound pass. That ball knocked out of the hands of Toby Larson. It'll stay on this side.
Bulldogs fans want a foul there on that strip. I didn't have a really good angle to see it.
I couldn't see, too many bodies. I'm going to trust the officials. That pass, Carlson just kept it in bounds. He's going to give it up top, Tom McDevitt. McDevitt now into the corner, driving is Hatmaker. Feed down low. That one knocked out of the hands of Toby Larson. Seton Catholic's got the ball and a chance to take the lead. They have not led since the first quarter. Caden Wilson to Angelo. Brady Angelo drawing a crowd. Back to Wilson. Now Lance Lee. Lee attacks. Spins. Puts up with the right. Good defense by Larson. Possession stays with Seton Catholic. 4 seconds. Wilson fires one underneath the basket. Angelo's fouled. He's going to shoot 2.
And I think that the Cashmere coaching staff wanted a held ball there. Instead, it's going to be free throws for Angelo. I can't believe we're at this spot here with 1:20 left talking about Seton Catholic taking the lead. It was 45-28 in the third quarter.
Rylan Nelson picked up his third foul. Free throw no good for Angelo.
His first trip at the line after sitting out the entire first half.
Didn't play. Was kind of the Hail Mary for Seton Catholic. He got the second. And Seton Catholic has the lead, 62-61, 80 seconds to go. Rylan Hatmaker runs point for Cashmere. Gets the ball over to Carlson. Carlson going to work. Gets this one down low to Larson. Larson, little baseline jumper, no good. Wilson the rebound. The Cashmere Bulldogs have gone ice cold. The final minute.
The defense is heated up, though, for Seton Catholic, honestly.
Caden Wilson has the basketball into the corner. Here's Rico George back to Angelo. Caden Wilson, he'll attack. Wilson puts it up with the right. Got it to go. Make it 30 for Caden Wilson. The lead's 3. Up the floor, Tom McDevitt dishes this one over. Got the ball back. We're going to have a timeout taken by Cashmere. We're going to keep it here with just 35.4 to go in this ball game. 64-61, the lead for Seton Catholic, who, like you mentioned, Nick, was down 17 in the third quarter and have stormed back to take the lead.
Matt, I'm having a tough time here. I need you to help me out, okay?
All right.
What's more impressive? Caden Wilson having 30 or Caden Wilson staying available and not fouling out since he picked up 4 fouls early in the third quarter?
And remember, you and I kind of looked at each other wondering, is this the right move? It turned out to be the right move. He has played a strong second half.
I didn't wonder myself personally. I just thought out loud as a basketball mind. It's like, at what point do you say, hey, I need to protect you? But then again, you weigh in the fact that if I do pull him, are we going to get in a position to even come back? I think that Donald Wilson made the right decision. I think Caden Wilson's played excellent since then to not pick up the foul.
Anyone who knows basketball wondered about that immediately. There's nothing wrong with that. Not questioning coaching decisions, but now you can look and say, wow, what a coaching decision by Donald Wilson.
That's why it's so hard to make the decisions.
30 seconds to go. 3-point game. Ball knocked out of the hands of Hatmaker. He's going to give this one to Rylan Nelson. Nelson loses it. The steal from Angelo. He'll lay it up and in, and it's a double or 2-possession lead now for Seton Catholic. 66-61, 15 seconds and a whistle. And a foul in the backcourt on Angelo.
Smart foul because it's a foul to give. You stop all the momentum. You're going to make Cashmere come up with a set play here.
What a ball game. Seton Catholic leads by 5, 14.8 to go. They're going to get this one in. Rylan Nelson loses dribble, kicks it over, 3-ball. Matt Carlson, that one's denied by Lance Lee, and that might do it. Cashmere will pick up the foul, but with just 2.4 left, it looks like the comeback's going to be complete.
Wow.
What fight from Seton Catholic as Toby Larson fouls out. And going to the line is Caden Wilson, and with a 2-possession lead, these free throws not as important.
I'm speechless right now. I mean, that doesn't happen very often, so fans, if you've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
A 19-7 fourth quarter as of right now. First free throw good for Caden Wilson. Unbelievable. Caden Wilson, 31. His second free throw to put the finishing touches on it. Good. 32 points for Caden Wilson. Cashmere will inbound, and that'll do it. The Seton Catholic Cougars complete the comeback and take down the Cashmere Bulldogs 68-61 in a stunning comeback to keep their season alive and end the season of the Bulldogs. We will try and get our thoughts together. We'll come back, wrap it up with the Alderson's Awards West postgame show next here on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks.